SP Primetime. The leaves are falling, the football is falling as well. My name is Dalyss Hanson alongside Bryce, Gutknecht, Owen, Patterson. Thank you for being with us here today, and it is going to be a fun one. We're going to preview the 9-man football playoffs alongside with single A football playoffs. Believe it or not, it is time. Let's kick it off with our 9-man bracket. Owen, you and I are kind of 9-man cats. I love the game of 9-man. But when you take a look at this bracket, a lot of intriguing first-round games.
Sure is, and maybe not really at the top seeds either. The most intriguing games are kind of those hidden at the bottom. Of course, got to hit the top teams right away. New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddox, 21 consecutive victories. That's the longest active streak in North Dakota. They're the defending state champions. They're the one with the targets on their back. And who's the one that wants to hunt them down? For the team they beat in Fargo last year, Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, they'll open up with 4 wins.
When you look at this bracket, Owen, if you had to pick a game of the week, what would your pick be?
I think there's some really good options here. Obviously, my favorite is the North Border South Border matchup, just for the name. But when it comes to the football play on the field, Mohawk, Lansford, Sherwood, and Kidder County is just a very fascinating game. You've got Kidder County, a team that's very capable of hitting explosive plays with their running game. MLS likes to do it through the air. It is going to be a battle in Steele, North Dakota on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, a lot of great first-round games. Let's talk about the number 1 seed. The team that's going to try to do something that not many teams have done, go back-to-back. They're going to face off against Hatton Northwood. Divide County comes in as an 8 seed versus Grant County Flasher. An interesting game, Divide County, a lot of injuries. They lost Damon Bowling week 2 to ankle surgery. Then fast forward to last week practicing, one of their great, maybe all-state players, Stockton Nelson, breaks his foot, done for the year. Brady Brown injures himself against the Longhorns. And it's something about this time of year, injuries come into play. We talked to a lot of these coaches. But when you look at that game, what do you see?
I see a Divide County team that handled their schedule really well in Region 3. They did what they needed to do to qualify. Grant County Flasher, though, comes from a really battle-tested Region 4. They were one of 3 teams that had a 7-2 record in their own region. So Grant County Flasher, I know it's a long road trip, but it's something they've done a lot of times before. This is not a new place for Grant County. I think on the road, the Storm, with those injuries, might just have a bit of an edge over Divide County.
As you mentioned, that'll be played at Callender's Field in Crosby, North Dakota. Oh, and let's talk about some players to watch. Because 9-man, sometimes you don't get the recognition, so a lot of people that are going to watch this, they're going to want to learn who are the best players in the state and who should we keep an eye on, because let's be honest, North Dakota State signed a few of these kids, UND signed a few of these kids, NAIA schools are just grabbing them all over the place, but who are your 9-man players to watch?
Yeah, I got to start with the number 1 team once again, Easton Simon, their starting quarterback. First-team All-Stater a year ago. I mean, New Rockford Cheyenne's kind of that old-school 9-man where you make the field as big as it can be, you spread them out, you throw the ball all around the yard, and Simon is just the perfect guy to distribute the football to all those targets. I mean, it's Thomas Almers lately who's been really carrying the receiving load for New Rockford Cheyenne Maddox, but it's Simon getting them the football for the Rockets. Then, you mentioned the NDSU commit. Well, the number 2 team, Gunnar Thielges, he is an incredible running back for Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion. Really hard to tackle. You put on the film, and I mean, there's a tackle, a broken tackle on every single play there is on film when Gunnar Thielges runs the football. So he is an extraordinary back in the backfield.
You know, I know we talked about a lot of injuries. Lytton HMB, this is very interesting. They start out ranked top 5 throughout the whole year. They were kind of talking about, this is our year. This is our team. This is our team to win a state championship. Listen to this story, everybody. They're pretty banged up. First play of the year, one of their best players that ever has played running back position for him, Jake Hayes, tears his knee up, okay? Now, here's another stat for you. Over the season, 21 kids have been injured. Lytton HMB literally limping into the playoffs, but hold the phone because listen to this. They got a freshman starting running back named Parker Massett closing in on 1,000 yards rushing, and you and I know the game of football. When you get that next man up mentality and you get to develop these freshman players like that, that's not only going to help your program, it's going to help you for seasons to come.
Yeah, through all of that, this is an undefeated Lytton HMB team. We just talked about how tough Region 4 is. They're back-to-back champions, undefeated once again. So what Lytton HMB did this year, pretty remarkable. There's another name to know who's stayed healthy this season. Larry Umber III, defensive lineman. Goodness, he is a beast. They run a 2-down lineman front, and he's always in the backfield. Oh, he doubles as a slot receiver. He's a 6'3", 200-pound defensive lineman who plays in the slot on offense.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people are wondering, okay, what's going to happen here? Who's going to do what? And we're not just covering 9-man with this. We're going to talk a little Class A, Bryce. This is our time, BG. Let's talk a little bit about that because we've got the bracket. We're going to pull that up right now. Bryce, when you look at that bracket, and you see some of the marquee matchups, and you see Killdeer, who's coming in last year, make the semifinals, lose on a last-second goal line stand. Is that one of the teams to beat, Killdeer?
Their side of the draw is very interesting to me. I'm looking down there. I'm circling a team in Dickinson Trinity.
Yeah.
A team that played Killdeer very tough during the regular season. Great matchup. Hugh Meyer was terrific in that matchup versus Killdeer. Going to be interesting. That bottom of the bracket out there. Really like a team in Botno too. Botno, their quarterback, it's Emerson Marham. He has been terrific. He is dual threat. I said dual threat. We're going to say that a lot. There's a lot of dual threat quarterbacks in that single A playoff bracket on these teams. Very capable of shouldering the heavy load of these teams offensively.
Yeah, and I mean, a team that you know a lot about, they're right in your backyard. Velva Drake, Animus Garrison. Velva, rich in tradition. We talked on our PSP Primetime show with their head coach before the season, and he said, yeah, we're going to try to figure our team out. They have figured a lot of things out. But are you poking the bear when you give them the number 4 seed? That's kind of a big thing.
Yeah, we can sit here. The seeding talk kind of comes up about everything.
Yeah.
Right? When professional sports, every kind of level, there's always questions about how a team should be seeded. What's the process? I think just the bottom line is a loss versus a Harvey Wells County team just doesn't look good on your resume. It's no disrespect to Harvey Wells County. It's just a team that didn't qualify for the playoffs. Velva is a different team. Yeah. Cooper Kittleson is different at that quarterback position. Getting those reps in, he is excelling. Dual threat. I said it again, he can run the football. His accuracy's up. My guy, the key, the Velva that is different. It kind of flew under the radar this year. Kate Okeson coming over for Bishop Bryan changes this team, moving him onto the offensive and defensive line. You take an all-state performer like him and do that. Start shuffling some different pieces. He's the X factor, I think, for the Aggies.
Yeah, and you can find that Velva DAG game versus Southern McLean right here on PSP Network. Also, we're going to have the Killdeer versus Ray Powers Lake game right here on PSP Network, so make sure you tune in today. Bryce, let's talk a little bit about, you just heard Owen talk about 9-man players to watch. How about your single A players to watch? Because there's a plethora of them.
A kid I watched, I haven't seen a lot of him. He was on PSP Network last week. Tucker Bomback, Killdeer Cowboys. Yeah. You stood out. You jumped off the screen. How about 3 throwing touchdowns? Oh, don't forget about 3 rushing touchdowns. A kid that's very gifted that can lead Killdeer. They're going to spread you out offensively. So talented, so gifted. A couple guys I mentioned in Velva, Kate Okeson. Give some love to the defense, to the big boys up front. I think he's a huge X factor in these single A playoffs. Cooper Kittleson as well, what he's doing in Velva. I love Hugh Meyer. I think he's a kid he could single-handedly win you a couple games in the playoffs. I know team-wise, the offensive line's great out there. I think you can ride a guy like Hugh Meyer, give him 30 carries in a ball game. He can get you to a couple victories. And I said it. I really like Emerson Marham in Botno. I think he's another kid at that bottom of the bracket. Potential. I know they got a first-round game. Potential setup with maybe a team like Ellendale. Yeah. I also think Emerson Marham's a kid that can get you a couple wins as well.
Also something to note, Coach Walker, who is the head coach at Killdeer High School, he does one thing and one thing only. He wins. He wins. He coached at Dickinson State, was the offensive coordinator. They won. Then he goes to Bowman County. They won there. Finds himself in Killdeer, and they win there. When we come back, we'll have some predictions here from the 9-man division and single A. We'll be right back with PSP Prime.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
At Ryan Buick GMC, we treat every day like game day.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen, on 2. Ready?
We know how to get you in the right vehicle.
Blue Canyons, and hut!
From the test drive to the handoff, we make every step easy. This season, start your drive at Ryan Buick GMC.
Welcome back to PSP Primetime. Thank you for choosing us wherever, however. It is time to make our picks. Bryce, Gutknecht, and Owen Patterson here to my right and left are going to take their time, which they've done their homework and they're ready to go, especially this guy to my left, about making some predictions here in playoff football. But before we get to that, BG, I know you want to talk about a team, and let's throw it to you right away with your who's going to be your favorite and who's going to be your dark horse.
Are we talking 9-man?
Yeah, we're talking 9-man.
We're talking 9-man. Okay, dark horse. I know they're seeded well. I know that. Alexander comments. Okay, here's why I like them. Last 2 years, hey, 2023 eliminated first round.
Yeah.
Okay, 2024 second round. Okay, hey, seem to just be getting better and better. I want to talk a little bit about a guy Owen has educated me on, Julian Gant, wide receiver, linebacker. This guy does so much for his team. Just a playmaker on both sides. He's a key part of that team. Hey, maybe it's here, Alexander, you get in that semifinal game. You just never know what can happen in those type of ball games.
How about dark horse?
Oh, they're my dark horse.
Oh, they're your dark horse.
Yeah. No, favorite?
Favorite?
I love the Rockets.
Yeah.
I love the Rockets. Here's why. Quarterfinals last year. Elgin, Grant County, they won by 36. Semifinals versus Westo, they won by 36.
Wow.
Finals, Dakota Bowl versus Lemoore. How many did they win by, Owen?
I'm going to guess 36.
36. That is correct. 31-1 over the last 3 seasons. I can't get away from them. I love the quarterback play. I love the weapons. Give me the Rockets in the Dakota Bowl. 9-man.
Also, everybody here at PSP Network, we want to make sure we give a heartfelt shout out to New Rockford Cheyenne Maddox Rockets. We're going to be playing with a heavy heart this week. Our thoughts and prayers goes out to you. Owen, let's hear it. Your favorite and your dark horse for 9-man, our beloved 9-man.
Well, Bryce and I can agree on this one. New Rockford Cheyenne Maddox, 61 points per game they're scoring on offense. It is just an offense you cannot stop. Obviously, Lemoore Litchfield Marion is going to be a very, very inspired team as well after the Dakota Bowl defeat. Again, Lemoore Litchfield Marion, one of the winningest teams in the last half decade. So do not count out the Lobos in a possible Dakota Bowl rematch. As for the dark horse, though, I'm going to stay in the same pod as Alexander and go with the 5th-seeded Hankinson Pirates. Ooh. They love running the football down there in the southeast corner. Quarterback, Rayshawn Earl. He's tough to tackle. His running back with him, Jax Hernandez, same story. They run the speed option a lot. I can get behind that as a Minot State fan. Hankinson's also going to have the great thing, a home field advantage early. It's 300 miles from North Prairie to Hankinson for the opening round. The only thing is, they might have to go all the way to the west to Alexander in the second round should they pick up a victory.
Yeah, this one kills me because in our previous notes when we were talking about this, I had my alma mater, Divide County Maroons, all over as my dark horse. I know somebody give me a Kleenex.
All right.
But with the injuries, I had to swipe them out. There is a team south that knows a couple things about playing defense. Coach Bauman and the boys down there at Linton HMB, they are my favorite. And listen to this, I'm going to pull a double-double. They are both my favorite and my dark horse. I am rolling with the Lions. BG, OP, one thing wins you championships, defense. Listen to these defensive stats. They've only given up 6 points per game, and it all starts at the front line. Their offensive line is kind of the glue of the team. They love to push them around. Defensively, they get after the quarterback, running back. Give me the Lions, baby, all day, all night. All right, let's move on to our single, double A. OP, we're going to switch it up here a little bit. I'm going to throw it to you, since Bryce really likes a single A, but give me your favorite and your dark horse for 1A.
Well, there's one team we went an entire segment just brushing away, and that is the only undefeated team in single A football, guys. The Langdon area Munich Cardinals last year in the semifinal round had to come over to Velva, played a really tough opponent, and lost. That's something the Cardinals have done a lot in the postseason, run all the way to the semifinals and the Dakota Bowl. I think they do it again. We came into the preseason saying this is the best returning production team in North Dakota. They've proved us right. They're 9-0, heading into tournament time, and they got a great draw early on.
How about the dark horse?
Dark horse this year in single A football. I really like Botno, the number 6 seed down there.
I knew you were gonna
But
say that.
I'm not going to steal that one from you, Bryce. I'm going to have to do some digging here and say it might just be the Trinity Titans as well. They were the number 7 seed this season. You mentioned that game against Killdeer. The game started on Friday, ended on Monday. They've been waiting for a rematch with this Cowboys team, and I think they got the ideal draw to go up against Killdeer in the quarterfinal round.
Well said, Owen. Well said. Mr. Bryce Gutknecht, who is your favorite in single A?
I got to get some stuff on the table and educate everybody about Langdon area. Or Todd Domry's going to be calling my cell phone. We're going to be blowed up here.
TD.
So here we go. This is what I got for you. Closest ball game this year, 20 points. 20 versus Park River. Okay. Point differential, stat I always look at, plus 277. The Cardinals have lost 10 games in 8 seasons.
Wow.
Champions, 2018, 2019, 2020. This team is ready to make a run in this single A playoffs. So, hey, little education on Langdon area. Dark horse. I'm going to start with dark horse. I can't believe this because I love to disagree with the professor, Owen Patterson. Him and I are kind of on the same page. I like Trinity. I like Hugh Meyer. I like the power run game. I think they give Killdeer some fits. I think they can limit some of Killdeer's possessions in a ball game like that. I know we're looking ahead there a little bit. I also like my champion. I really like the defending champs. There's a couple reasons. Cade Okeson is my reason, number one. I think what he brings, I think he elevates everybody's game on that offensive line, on that defensive line, especially defensively. I think he's going to draw some double teams. I think that just opens things up for defensive coordinator Brock Nagel, what they can do there. I really like Velva to win it. And like I said, the dark horse, I like those 6 and 7 seeds, Botno, and I like Trinity a lot.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I think Botno is fantastic. Great athletes up there. Great athletes. Can't wait to cover them in basketball as well. But my favorite right now, and it's not always about the Jimmies and the Joes, it's about the X's and O's. One of the best coaches we have in the state goes by the name of Nick Walker. And when you get to a point last season, like they did, and you lose the way they did, they've got that sour taste in their mouth throughout all of the offseason. They're going to come in just ready to play. Killdeer is my favorite. Give me the Cowboys. My dark horse is, I'm kind of coattailing here a little bit, but I really like Velva DAG. I really like it. I think, our producer and our owner here at PSP, Nick Holberg, talked about it on social media. You poke the bear a little bit when you give him the 4 seed. A little poking, a little jousting.
Yeah.
But I love Velva DAG. There's nothing. You can't beat it. Saturday afternoons in Velva at a playoff football game. I can't wait. Hopefully we're going to be there. Hopefully you're there as well. Let's talk a little bit about our upcoming schedule here on the PSP Network, presented to you by Bones Barbecue. Bones Barbecue is right here in the Magic City in Minot, North Dakota. What we have to offer is going to be this Friday night. We're going to have Mandan versus Legacy, Minot North versus Dickinson, Minot versus Williston. Bryce, you and I will be at that game. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then the big one, Bismarck versus Century. And as for Saturday, first round of playoffs, Southern McLean versus Velva Drake Animus Garrison, and then Killdeer versus Ray Powers Lake. A lot of great action here on PSP Network. Where will we post our scheduled events down the road? Because we've got a lot of things coming up here. It's right on our website, psp.network. And also subscribe to our YouTube page. That's psp.network. Again, any final thoughts here, boys, before we call it a curtain call here? Bryce? Start with you.
I still can't believe Owen and I were agreeing this much. This is just new. I know maybe next week we're going to talk about this. Next week, maybe that AA and AAA will have a little difference of opinion. We're just excited. It's playoff time. We're excited to possibly be at a lot of these venues promoting these great athletes, and something about playoff football, man. There just is. The weather's changing. It's getting colder. We're all excited.
Owen Patterson?
Oh, we're just the media. We like talking about the games.
Yes.
It means nothing at all. Let the games begin on Saturday afternoon.
As for Bryce Gutknecht, Owen Patterson, Nick Holberg producing, from all of us here at PSP Network, we greatly appreciate your support, letting us bring you these great student athletes into your home. My name is Dalyss Hanson. Next week, we'll see you same time, same place for AA and AAA, our playoff preview, right here on the PSP Network. Thank you.